Hi, and welcome to Danny After Dark. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a notification or a new episode. Tonight is the weekly True Crime and Chill, but for this week, I'm calling it Chill with a little bit of true crime. So if you guys can't hear it in my voice, I have been sick all week and I'm just getting over it and feeling a little bit better, but it's still just, when you get sick and it just lingers and it threw my whole week off. So I didn't have as much time to kind of research and prepare as I normally would. So, but I didn't want to miss a show because I really love doing this with you guys. So I figured I'll still come on. There's a little bit of stuff that's been in the news that I've had like a little bit of an eye on. So we'll just kind of very briefly update on those. And other than that, we'll just kind of hang out. As far as I knew, Beckham was supposed to be joining. Maybe there's a candle fiasco and he doesn't know which one to light. I don't know. But if he comes late, which he typically does anyway, maybe we'll let him up. Maybe. But other than that, how is everybody doing? Happy freaking Friday. I know I needed it. Even though I had a short work week because I was sick, I still needed it. But let's see who's here. Tony Stewart, right before 9. Love that. Hi, Kane. Welcome. Capone, good to see you. Kane, I'm having internet problems with this. Oh no, that sucks. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, internet problems are no fun. Let's see. Chris James, hello, good to see you. Auntie Mimi, hello, Auntie Mimi. Paul, do you want to come up? I don't know where Beckham is. I sent you the link in case you did. Let's see. I'm guessing the answer is no. Hi, Kat. Welcome. PJ, welcome. I ain't no holler back guy. K-Dog. K-Dog, I don't know what that's referencing, but I'm just glad you're here. Camp Elasticity Productions. Hi, welcome. Thank you. I feel better. I feel like I just don't sound better, but it is what it is. But thank you. Thank you, Zach. So for anybody that missed it last night was the first Danny After Dark book club. And again, huge shout out to Zach for joining me on camera to review Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. And that was, it was a lot of fun because to have kind of differing takes on a book and, people picking up different things. And for those of you who are in the chat who've read it and were participating in it and contributing as well, I loved that. I absolutely loved that. So next month, I know I had said it would be the last Thursday of the month, which, and again, that can kind of change as time goes on if that doesn't work for people. Next time would be the last Thursday of April, and I'm actually not around. So I'll have to, for next month, kind of do it a little bit of a different time. So with that being said, I'll put up a poll of several book suggestions that I've received. I'll put it in the Facebook group. So if you want to participate, whether on camera, in the chat, or just kind of sit back and do neither and just kind of watch the episode, but still want to vote which book, feel free. I'll put that up and, give a little bit of time for people to vote, and then we'll go from there with what the April book will be. But there's been a few suggestions that have come in, and I'm so excited because a lot of the times it's books I hadn't heard of, and it just gives me an excuse to shop more on Amazon for true crime books. So by all means, keep the suggestions coming. I do have a Google Doc keeping track of them. So that will be that. Any other updates that I have? I have a little list here. Again, I have posted on Instagram and on the Facebook page that I will be one of the content creators at the True Crime Podcast Festival in July here. It says Boston, but the event is really in Danvers, which if you're from here, you're like, that is nowhere close. But if you're not from here, you're like, sounds good. So I'm really looking forward to that. Tickets are already on sale for that. I do have a discount code for that. I've already posted that on my social media. So if that's something you're in the area and you're like, I want to go and check that out, please do so. I'm really excited I'm excited to go. And then I'm also excited to have a booth there as one of the content creators. So very exciting. And in regards to events, so CrimeCon UK, I will not be at CrimeCon UK. And I'm so upset. I'm so upset because I want to go so bad. But if you are in the UK area, or if you're like, I plan to go on a vacation to the UK anyway, so why don't I work that into my trip? CrimeCon UK this year is June 7th and 8th. And friends of the show, Neil and Megan from the Mortal Musings podcast, they will be there this year. But not only that, they will be hosting an event. And I'm so excited and so happy for them. I had them on several weeks ago for an interview. So if you guys caught that, then you already know who they are. And I'm sure you're already listening to their podcast. It's freaking amazing. They will co-host an event with Esther from the Once Upon a Crime podcast. And I actually several months ago had Esther on as well. So I just love that like two of my favorite podcasters are doing an event together. But what they're going to be doing is a Test Your Killer Knowledge event. So again, if you are in the UK area and you can go to CrimeCon UK, go have a blast. And while you're there, stop at Podcast Row and say hi to Neil and Megan and Esther. And if you want to get a discount code off of your tickets, if you are able to go, Neil let me know that their code is MORTAL. And I'm actually typing that out here. So it's here in the chat. If you're in the area there and you want to go, definitely go check them out. But in the meantime, download their podcast if you have not already. Again, Mortal Musings podcast. Download Esther's, the Once Upon a Crime podcast, and yeah, give them a review. Love both their podcasts. So excited for them. And I'm so jealous I can't be in the audience there and watch this event. I'm so bummed. But anyways, check that out if you are in that area. So they, let's see, oh my God, I'm like reading the chat as my mind is racing. All right, few people came in. I don't want to miss anybody. Let's see. I just went back to K-Dog saying he isn't a holler back guy, and I don't know why. Let's see. You look all fancy. Oh, girl, no, but thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Danny, Paul isn't even on camera and he's still being demanded. Danny, tell everyone the Anthony interview will be out. Paul, you could come on camera and say it yourself, but all right, over on the Paulcast Manson Saga discussion panel, again, it's your girl that's over there, Mr. Beckham, and that guy, Paul. Part 2 of Paul's interview with Anthony DiMaria will be out sometime in the next few days. For those who aren't into the Manson case and you want to go over and you're like, I don't know who that is Jay Sebring's nephew. So part 1 is already up. Listen to that if you have not already. It is so good. It is so good. Part 2 will be out soon. So check that out and give that channel a sub if you have not already. We're not constantly live on there because according to Paul, he is on summer break. But yeah, when new stuff comes up, we definitely make it a point to share that with you guys. So check that out and be on the lookout for part 2. Let's see. James Watson. Hello. In cold blood last night was good. Turns out Robert Blake did it. James, I was very pleasantly surprised that you were in the chat and that was a book that you read. I was like, oh my gosh, me and James Watson are on the same level right now. And I don't know what to make of that. I'm scared. But nevertheless, I continued on. Hi, Troy. Good to see you. Danny is ready for a late Friday night clubbing. I assure you that is not the case. I assure you. Danny will be partying next month. Yes, I will. Yeah, when I normally would be doing that last Thursday of the month book review with y'all, let's just say stay tuned, because you may find out, like, I may be hanging out with Capone. I may be on vacation hanging out with Capone. I don't know. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Let's see. Y'all are catching up in the chat. Let's see. Outside tonight near a courthouse with free Wi-Fi. Tony Stewart. Are you by the courthouse where the Karen Reed trial is going to be happening? That is the question, Tony Stewart. That is the $1 million question right there. Yeah, no kidding. See, that would be like Beckham being like, oh yeah, I'm just, outside of a college dorm for, because there's a coffee shop next door. Like, yeah. Hey, oh my gosh. I knew I was going to butcher something tonight. Time Traveler, how you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're doing good. Let's see. A lot of you guys here tonight. I'm very excited. Oh my God, James Watson. I can't even. Yeah, one of the comments on Paul's interview. What was it that? Oh, someone posted exactly. It was basically just like Paul's voice during the interview was so boring that, like, what is it? The person fell asleep or something like that. Not Anthony. Anthony DiMaria is awesome. It's just, yeah, Paul. Ugh. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Totally boring. So, yeah. See, but James Watson, an ASMR channel, there are some that are like unintentional ASMR, and those are the best ones. But like, yeah, I don't know. Would I want to like have Paul playing on, my phone or my computer, like when I'm trying to go to sleep? No, I really wouldn't. That's what the stuff of nightmares are made of. And I can say that because he's my co-host and he can't do anything about it. Interesting interview. It was, yes. Part 2. Stay tuned for part 2. But yes, it was really good. Beckham in the chat. Who knows where he is in real life? Maybe he may as well be outside the courthouse for the Karen Reed trial. Because y'all know we'll be talking about that. I might have been sick and like out of commission, but I still know what's going on with the Karen Reed trial. Priorities. Paul just got done with a winter break. Capone. No. I'm sorry. I hate to correct you. No, Paul's still on summer break. He still needs to announce that we're going on winter break. Yeah, facts. Too many times been around. I don't know where. Did I miss something with all these Gwen Stefani holler back girl references? Did something happen and I just missed it? I don't know. Hi, Karen Diamond. Thank you. Yeah, it's that time of year. Everybody at work is either just getting over being sick with the same kind of bug or virus going around, or they're just at the tail end of the group and they're starting to get sick. It's one of those, like, it's going to hit you. There's only so much you can do. But nonetheless, yeah, it was just horrible time. I mean, there's never a good time to get sick, but yeah, who is Kim? I think I've only mentioned her like once on this channel, Tony. So no worries, hon. That's twice this winter, Danny. Take it. I try. I know. I know, Tony. I'm trying. Yeah. I don't know. It's just that time of the year, I suppose. Everybody's, just getting sick. Each time I've gotten sick, it's been what's going around the office. So it wasn't just like I randomly caught some random like flu or something, but it still bites. Dan Quirk, hello. Beckham is at Parker Ranch with Stoner right now. We'll leave it at that. Beckham's getting you all. You know what? That's fine. Beckham can go where he's wanted. He's wanted there. Is he wanted here? That's the jury's still out. Try to boost your immune. Tony, you know, Kane says this winter is the sickest I've ever been. It's been brutal, Kane. I totally feel you. Yeah, absolutely. Oh God. Some of the for those of you who don't know, and I know we're like 15 minutes in. We'll get to the true crime. Like I said, this is a chill with a little bit of true crime. For those of y'all who were not around at the beginning of like me, Paul, and Beckham's start to YouTube, oh gosh, Beckham was a shit show. I mean, Paul too. I was always just perfect on camera. Sorry, I was. But oh God, Beckham. Oh, he had moments. Yeah. But those are the good old days. And now he acts so like professional on camera. It's like, Beckham, we know. When we're around people that I'm not used to being around, I can get the colder flu. I get the colder flu where I'm around people that I know. It's just, yeah. It's that time of year. It is what it is. Okay, all right. So let's jump into this. Hey, Tony L, good to see you. The door is open for the cats. Leia was in here. So they may be coming and going. Let's see. I like have not been able to kind of prepare my notes like I ordinarily would, just because being out of commission, being sick, and then like getting back to work and then catching up. You know the struggle. So some of them are just like legit. I have the articles from online, and I will just give credit where credit is due to these news sources that I'll be talking about. So, all right. Brian Koberger. So, well, speaking of people who are not wanted.
Hello.
18 minutes, 27 seconds.
I apologize. I should have told you to wake me up.
Well, am I your mom? Well, you have a girlfriend. What am I, your mom? Do you need her and me to...
Hold on. I'll be right back.
The nerve. The absolute nerve. Are you kidding me?
Hey, you said it was going to be a chill, and I was like, okay, it's going to be a chill. So then I just closed my eyes for like 5 minutes, and it became like an hour and a half.
Look at Capone. The DNA proves Danny is the mother. I feel like it. Beckham is older than me. I feel like his mother. Beckham, go do what you have to do. It's fine.
We'll start in like 2 minutes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for... You hear that, everybody? We'll start in 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I can tell you what you can do for 2 minutes. Brian Koberger. Where was I? So it has come out that, and according to people.com, he purchased, I don't know how it's pronounced. It's spelled Balaclava. Balaclava?
It ain't baklava.
I thought it was baklava when I first read it. I was like, Brian Koberger purchased baklava? How is this related to the murders? For one, baklava is freaking delicious. If you go
it's really good.
An authentic bakery, oh my God, so good. So I don't think I had baklava ever in my life until I was like 24, 25 years old. How did I go my whole life without that? I don't know. But yes.
It's really, it's rich though. It's really good and rich.
I'm sorry, you're still not on camera, so you're not participating. Balaclava.
Wait, so you just said baklava.
Basically, it's the mask. And he purchased it just months before the police identified him as the masked suspect in the 4 college student murders. Latah County District Attorney Bill Thompson filed a motion stating that he plans to introduce the receipt from that sale as evidence during the criminal trial, which, as we know now, is expected to start in August. Whether that will change or not, who knows? It's changed so much already. But as of now, it's supposed to start in August. So they say, quote, the relevance of this information is that Brian Koberger purchased a black balaclava from Dick's Sporting Goods on January 10th, 2022.
Just call it a black ski mask.
Yeah, it's basically a ski mask. This mask is the same type of mask described by the surviving roommate that she witnessed worn by a male in the residence on November 13th, 2022, end quote. So, as you can expect, the defense filed a reply objecting to any motion of this ski mask, including the eyewitness's sketch at trial, to the manner in which police allegedly obtained that information. Like, seriously? How are you trying to get... The witness saw somebody in the mask and you want that thrown out from being mentioned. Little bit of a reach, I must say. So, yeah, that's the latest on that.
It was winter time. It gets cold up there.
But again, he purchased this, if this is what was purchased for the murders, now it's gone. The knife gone, the sheath. There's just so much, again, innocent until proven guilty. It's just the cards they're not looking good for him. And again, these are just little pieces that we're hearing. There's going to be so much more at trial and I know some people feel one way or another about this case. There's going to be stuff on both ends that comes out at trial, but I'm very much looking forward to it. When I saw that, again, once I realized that the headline wasn't that he purchased baklava, I was like, all right, there's something to this, but we'll see. Yes, black ski mask is way easier to say. Yes, ski mask.
Now, I mean, there's been a lot of people that have, either visited or live in the area or lived or remotely close to the area, where they say they've never even seen one in their lives ever. So it's like,
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just catching up on y'all's comments. Don't let him fool you. This is a green screen, and Beckham is there something at Barker Ranch this weekend?
Huh?
I don't know. People keep talking about Stoner and Barker Ranch.
I just think people are going to meet up there.
I think people thought you were there. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Hey, Richard. Good to see you.
Hey, Richard. You are fashion. Nice to see you. Thanks for the compliment.
Richard, good to see you. Richard, I consider you on time. Even though you're 20 minutes in, you're on time. Beckham, however, no. Unexcusable. Disagree. Beckham, do you want to read that?
Read what?
The comment.
Thank you.
That wasn't something to thank him for. Someday, y'all. I'm. That's more about. That is more.
I was gonna say, with knowing Danny, she's gonna say that she's good and we're good and everything's just the way it is.
Thank you, Capone. You know what? It's black ski mask. It is what it is. Let's see, Capone. Yeah,
that's roommate. Funny, Capone. That's what made me go chuckle.
The roommate was so terrified that she went to sleep and didn't call. I know that's one thing that a lot of people, and you from day one, have said. I question that. K-Dog, he better plead or try to escape. Yeah, he's screwed. I don't think he's going to try to plead. I think they're going to go full forward to try to get him acquitted. Who knows? Hi, James. Danny, I show myself in the chat. Dare I show myself? I just got back from the holiday. So, James, Beckham, this is James who purchased that video request for you.
Oh, thank you, James. You're the
Yeah.
best.
James, thank you so much for those who I am on Cameo, and James was so nice to purchase a Cameo, but he did it for Beckham, and I had to be nice. I had to be
I
nice to
do
Beckham.
have it saved. It'll be forever saved. It's in a safe place.
It was
It's in a
so hard.
it's in a safety deposit box. It's on multiple computers. It's even in the cloud. So it's never gonna go away. It's on the phone.
Oh, I knew I would come to regret that. Oh man. Well, welcome from coming back from holiday. And yes, book club was yesterday, but watch it on replay. Watch it on replay. Earlier in the show at the very beginning, I talked about next month's. So stay tuned for that. Would love to have you a part of that. But yeah, that's awesome. You were on holiday. I'm actually very jealous. Very jealous. Shelly wouldn't say thank you. I think that goes back to that 2-minute thing there. Beckham keeps it with his Bitcoin. That's awesome. So yeah, that's that on Coburger. As there's any other updates coming in, we'll let y'all know. But that's kind of it for that.
I need to turn the whole video into a tune.
Oh God. Add some background to it and put it as a ringtone. So if I call you, all you hear is like,
It's gonna turn
Beckham,
into
you're
AI.
great.
It's gonna be a cartoon of yourself. It's gonna be so funny.
James, look what you did. Look at the monster that you created.
Dan,
Tony Stewart
you're gonna
says
become an
free
AI
Brian.
cartoon. Did you ever think about that?
I sure didn't. No. Danny, does this make you Mr. Beckham's opening act?
Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. I think so.
Mm.
Richard, you're a genius up there, level up there, buddy. Like,
Richard, I like you. So I'm debating, do I time you out? Do I not? That's a really not nice comment to leave. Really not nice comment to leave. That one hurts. It hurts. Oh no! Oh my gosh! I am totally messing with you. It was funny, but yeah, when I saw the request, I was like, "Be nice to Beckham." What?
hey, James, it was trust me, man. It's like the best thing ever. It's everywhere. It's a true treasure. Okay. It's
Yeah,
worth
it
any
was.
Bitcoin. It's worth
I
more
mean,
than
yeah,
any
I'm still in
Bitcoin.
therapy over the mental anguish I had to go through making that video, but nonetheless, you asked, I delivered. If Beckham keeps it up, there might be a true crime episode about Danny. K-Dog, you are spot on. Tony Stewart bringing it back. Thank you. If Brian wins his case, I'm inviting him to Danny After Dark. Watch, please go ahead, message him. And what are you going to say? Hey, there's this girl who has said you are guilty from day one. Would you like to come on her show?
Hey, I do have a quick point.
Yeah,
Kind
go
of
ahead.
similar. Like if he is found not guilty down the road, can he still return to his doctorate program?
I don't see why not.
That's a good question. I mean,
I mean, he didn't break any rules of the school. Unless something comes out at trial that he did. One of the things, okay, this is floating around the internet. I didn't put it in my notes because I'm like, okay, this is reaching. There's a paper that he did in 2020 that, again, pandemic, that is now.
That's right. I think I had heard that, but I didn't get to read about it. So.
Yeah, and it talks about someone committing a crime, but it also talks about when law enforcement respond, what they need to look for. And people are like, "Oh my God, see?" And I'm like, "Okay, that is reaching. That is reaching."
Well, yeah, because
He's
that's
in
what he
a
was studying.
criminal justice doctorate program. He's going to write 1 million papers. So,
and
was there anything
he's had access to the create a crime scene part of the program. So of course it's going to be right about it. Like, I mean, that's part
Yeah.
of that would be part of that exercise where
Mhm.
you put together a crime scene. You have the ability to put together a crime scene, and the clock starts, and you're pretending to be whatever, right? The
Yeah.
first on scene detective, a first on scene um, first responder, or whatever, right? And you
Yeah.
start to document what you're gonna find. I'm pretty sure that's a kind of a normality within the realm of the paper he wrote. So
Yeah. There was nothing like there were
right,
like some screenshots of like some like paragraphs that were taken out of that. And again, it was nothing. It was just a basic paper. I'm like reading this. I'm like, people are like, oh my God. And I'm like, no, this is a PhD student working on a paper. And that's coming from me. And y'all know I'm very like how I felt about Brian Koberger since day one. I'm giving him this. I'm giving him this. I'm like, no, people are reaching for this. There's nothing in here that is like, if somebody like that would be a direct correlation of like he's specifically describing the type of scene that later went on to this. I'm like, no. And of
right,
course, a lot of the times in the article, people were like conveniently leaving out, they're like, oh, talking about getting away with a murder. No, part of it is also when law enforcement comes, these are the things they need
yeah.
to look for. So of course, like you downplay that part when like, come on, no. Brian Koberger, I give you that one. I give you that one. All right. All right. Brian, Danny has been impressed with. Impressed is an interesting choice of a word. Okay. It's the prosecution's case to lose at this point. K Dog, you are absolutely correct. But nobody thought Casey Anthony would get off either. I know. Who would have thought OJ Simpson would have been acquitted? I mean, yeah, I know. I have no faith anymore. I have no faith. All right, moving on. Rex Hurman, Gilgo Beach. We have not talked about Rex in a little
Did you
bit.
send me the document?
I did. I did today. Not that you ever read it anyway.
Yeah, I do.
So a couple of them, Beckham, are
I
literally just a name, and I have the stuff on my phone because I just was like, oh, I can't. I
I
don't
didn't.
have the
I don't think I have it.
Beckham. Yes, you
That I
do.
swear you didn't. I'm just saying because I would have. That's when I wouldn't have fallen out. If you just kept the old one and just said, "Hey, get into the old one."
Yeah, it is the old one.
Oh, you sent it to on like 2 days ago.
Oh my God. You guys, this is what I have to deal with. This is you can't find good help nowadays. I don't know. Yes,
Calm
you did,
down.
Tony. I saw it. I saw it a little while ago. Thank you. I am so behind. I saw that and I was like, yes. Thank you,
Oh,
Tony.
look, the owner has not. Oh, the owner doesn't has deleted the file.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna take a 5-second intermission while I re-add Beckham.
It would be
Shared,
nice to be included.
shared. All right, Rex Heuermann. So there's two things about Rex. He and his estranged wife, Asa Ellerup, have reached a divorce settlement. As you all know, she filed for divorce immediately when he was arrested. So the terms of the divorce settlement has not been made public. I don't know if it will be made public. I don't think it will be. But I wouldn't be surprised if either party kind of makes some type of statement or it kind of comes out during his trial at some point. But nonetheless, a judge will review the settlement and then must sign off on the divorce to make it final. But other than that, they have reached a divorce settlement. And I know there's a lot of questions in regards to, did she know what was happening? How much was she aware of? I don't think we'll ever
Well,
really.
what we know is that wouldn't he send her and the kids away for the weekend while you did it?
Yes, the timing coincided where he Asa and the kids were away on vacation when a lot of this happened. But there was that one escort who was over the
Oh,
Herman
that's
house.
right. That's what kind of
She
threw the
ran
whole
from the
ranch.
house naked and
That's right.
screaming, and
Yeah.
Asa was there.
Yeah.
So who knows?
You mean lady of the evening or lady of the night? That's what you mean.
Beckham, whatever you call it when you no, I won't make that joke. I like Shelly too much. I won't make that joke to be like,
You
oh,
used to make that joke all the time.
but that wasn't a joke. That was me just citing what you do on a Friday and Saturday night.
Whatever.
So okay, Beckham. Okay, you know what? I have to give credit where credit is due. That is a really cool zip up sweater you're wearing.
Thank you.
Is that the
About
Punisher?
time I get compliments on here. What?
Is that the Punisher logo?
Yeah.
So, also in regards to Rex, scientists, sorry, I jumped ahead. Lawyers for Rex Heuermann were in court to ask a Suffolk County judge to disqualify some of the DNA evidence that was collected by the prosecutors. The scientist's testimony was to give insight into the efficiency of the technique used for the DNA evidence that is in question. So basically, this is about the DNA sequencing involved that was within one of the hairs that was found. So scientists take all the this is very sciencey, so I'm just going to quote here. Scientists take all the fragments of DNA and assemble them into a human genome. Traditional DNA sequencing looks at 15 to 24 points of comparison. Whole genome sequencing looks at 100,000 or more points of sequencing. And the methodology behind all of this produced only one possible donor. So Rex Heuermann has, in his defense, have argued that this DNA methodology, this new DNA methodology, has never been tested in New York courts. So prosecutors are saying that they have already used this technique in the medical community, and it's consistent with what the court system has allowed. So we'll see in regards to how far the defense team from Rex is able to argue this. I don't think they're going to be able to get that thrown out. I mean, it's damning evidence. But
this dude is more guilty than anybody I've ever heard.
He is a big guy. He is
Okay, so
scary looking.
What's crazy is like I saw a docu-series, or wasn't it? It was an hour. No, not a docu. Well, it was something kind of like that, but it was only like one episode, an hour, maybe two. Maybe I don't know. I think it was 2 hours about missing women, and it was basically this case, but in like 2009 or something like that, where there was already. How do you know the total number of women that he had the total number? Because I think at the time it was like a certain number, like not the total number, but
Well, he's only been charged with so many.
yeah.
Don't quote me, but I want
But
to.
anyway, it was just like, but it was a more of a mystery back then about it. It was interesting because I was like, wow, there's that many women that don't know, and they had the detectives at that time talking about it, and family members of the missing type of thing. So it was a mystery. They didn't know who it was. They didn't have anybody. So it was pretty interesting of a show because they couldn't, a possible serial killer. That's how they sold the show, right? So yeah. So of course, is there a serial killer? Is there not a serial killer? That was a whole bit, right?
Yeah.
So it was a pretty interesting 2 hour episode of whatever series it was. So
yeah.
and then here we are now.
I know. And Becca, remember when I went to CrimeCon Orlando? So the first CrimeCon I went to, one of the panels that I sat in on was one of the New York's law enforcement officer who worked this case.
Yeah.
That was
it might have that guy might have been on camera, for that show, for that filming of that show back then.
And then I got to meet him later that night at the bar. I was just like, oh my gosh, I need a photo with you. Like, yeah, helped break this case. Like,
do you remember what he told you? I mean, what did you guys even talk about? Did you touch up on it or anything?
I think so. So typically at the bar at CrimeCon, it's like a lot of content creators will kind of hang out there like the nights of CrimeCon and just hang, and like people who are attending will go and just hang out. So like I try not to take too much of the people who I was like, oh, I'd really love to meet them. I didn't want to take too much out of their time, but I said to him that I did sit in on his panel, And I was very impressed with the presentation that he did and how much work that has been put into this. And since then, they've tied him to more murders. So,
Right. Yeah. So
yeah.
that's, yeah.
But yeah, he talked about like you said, in regards to the history of this case, these unsolved murders and how it took all this time and
I
what
know. Yeah.
they
That,
did to
I
then
think that was back in
connect
like
it.
2009,
Mhm.
2010, maybe something like that. It's been a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was interesting to hear it from somebody who was like working it. Yeah.
I want to say the first victim, Danny, I want to say was like early 2000s, maybe. I don't know. It would be interesting. I mean,
First victim that they can tie him
right.
to.
Yeah. Yes. Or whatever, part of the, yeah. I want to say early 2000s, like 2002, 2003, something like that, maybe.
I guarantee there's more.
Yeah.
There's more women. But let's see. I've been seeing the chat. Some of you guys have been.
They're telling you to behave at the next crime con.
Capone. I did not see that. I will have to look it up. Capone. The wife was sketchy as hell too. She had to have known about this. I will say sometimes family members get a really bad rap. Like, how didn't you know? Like, why didn't you see it? How could, like, so on and so forth. I don't agree with that. I think most of the time they are victims in this as well, because now their lives are ripped apart because of the actions of somebody. In regards to this,
the kids are a little bit more grown now. I want to say they're probably like closer to 9 and 10 years old. So it's like,
yeah, and
I
looking
think there's
back,
two
it's
kids.
always easy to
I think
like.
there's two kids, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there are kids in this too, and I'm sure they're gonna have like Kerry Rawson, BTK, Dennis Rader's daughter. She's a big advocate, and like, yeah, they had no clue. But again,
Right.
looking back, it's like, oh, dad, you didn't touch dad's things.
Yeah.
You didn't go into like, and then when you look back, yeah, you can say, oh, this meant this and this. However, Capone, I'm with you on the Beckham. What did you call her? Lady of the Night. Come on.
Lady of the Night.
Who ran out of the house naked, screaming, and ended up murdered. I'm sorry, but if someone ran out of even one of my neighbors down the street's house, I would hear that.
I learned the term Lady of the Night when I was in college, and my goal was to go to the Playboy Mansion. That's my goal. That was my at that time. That was something that I was looking forward to. Hello?
Oh no, I'm here. I wanted you front and center for this. I was interrogating you. Let's put.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Stop acting shy. Oh my God. I can't. Okay, James Watson has some concerns. That's the only thing bugging me about the Beckham-Shelley relationship, not being able to say, oh, no, please go ahead. No, Beckham deserves all the jokes, please. Let's see. Deanna, you better behave at the next crime con. Always. James, don't encourage this. All right. Yeah, so we'll see where this turns out with Rex Heuermann and his defense. I don't think it's going to get tossed.
No, they're gonna come at this dude hard.
I mean, that is the defense's job to try to get everything thrown out. But it's one of those like, oh, it's new methodology. It's never been tested. Well, it is used and it is consistent with what the court system has allowed. So kind of not a great way to argue that, but it is what it is. So let me just skip around a little bit. This was breaking news this week, but it was also news that I think we all expected. So the singer Selena.
I was shocked by this. I was shocked.
You were shocked?
Well, I thought she was going to be granted parole. It was a done deal.
I didn't.
I was like, what? I was like, I thought she was going to get out. That's why she did the interview. to set herself up. I mean, that's why there was so. I mean, I thought it was already set.
I think she thought she was
Excuse
going
me.
to get out.
I thought so too.
Yeah, Tony, no parole. Yeah, so she rewind it. In 1995, Yolanda Saldivar was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 30 years for killing the singer Selena. So her parole eligibility date was March 30th, 2025. So again, she has been denied parole. Yeah, PJ, glad she is not getting out 100%. So in a statement to People, the Texas Board of Pardons and Parole said, quote, after a thorough consideration of all available information, which included any confidential interviews conducted, it was the parole panel's determination to deny parole to Yolanda Saldivar and set her next parole review for March 2030. So 5 years from now. So the reason provided by the panel for denial was the, quote, nature of the offense, end quote. They also went on to say, quote, the record indicates that the instant offense has elements of brutality, violence, assaultive behavior, or conscious selection of victims' vulnerability, including a conscious disregard for the lives, safety, or property of others, such that the offender poses a continuing threat to public safety, end quote. So she ain't getting out. She ain't getting out. I'm bummed that 5 years from now we're going to be right back to where we are with this. I don't think she'll get out. But
Well, not I don't now that I honestly thought it was already set. So I thought that was good. She was going to be out soon. Essence, the shows and things like that. But I mean, people are putting comments and stuff like if she had been paroled, where was she going to go? Her life would be in danger the whole time. So I don't know, but that's a lot of people. I mean, I'll put that, would put that sort of message out there. Again, man, Selena was beloved by the Hispanic community, like
I loved
across
her
the
growing up. She was
world.
crossing over.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she was. You're right. At the time, she had that song. She had a popular song on the radio. So much that
Dreaming of
the
you.
radio DJ in Dallas had talked. I remember that guy talked. God, what was his name? He passed away a while back, but he of one of the more popular stations in Dallas, DFW area, right? Kiss
Mhm.
FM. That guy had talked about her before she even kind of hit it big. I'll never forget. He was like, there's this new, performer singer. She's gonna have a great career. She could cross over, and then she did. She had that famous song, right? That
Mhm.
that hit, and then you're right. She was about to do the crossover type of thing, right? And they were setting her up for that, and
Yeah.
she would have been like, man, she might have been like, I mean, Madonna, like she could have been like somebody of that famous around the world, right? Because
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it's such a tragic story, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So unnecessary.
she had a bunch of very fans everywhere, loved her, and
Tony Stewart says, no parole, bitch. See you in 5 years.
Kid Craddock. I don't know
I
if
agree
anybody
with
knows
that.
who Kid Craddock was, but he is a very popular morning DJ guy in Dallas for lots of years.
hmm Tony Stewart, I've seen plenty of people coming back from a parole hearing and was told, see you in a few years or more. I know. She can take comfort, K-Dog saying she can take comfort in the fact that she's not in prison in El Salvador.
That's true.
Kane says she'll die in prison.
Probably so.
I hope so. I hope so. But it's like one of the things you said, Beckham, which I'm like, in regards to people commenting, like if she gets released and is like back out on the streets, like, but people said the same thing about Casey Anthony.
Hey man, I mean, I don't. You never. I mean, you never know with some of these cases. To be honest with you,
Yeah. All it takes
we'll
is
get to Karen Reed
one
here in a
person
minute.
like a
But
Luigi Mangione who's
oh
just
right,
like,
well
I
yeah,
want to
well I mean
take
we'll
justice into
right
my own hands.
right
Yeah.
now.
But
What's funny is it was the time, and I know that I don't know how they did it, but they would, right? Like I remember seeing something on the two Corys. Remember the two Corys, the 80s kids?
I loved
So
Corey
okay,
Haim.
yeah, so they had okay, So back in the 80s and 90s, in the 80s with the two Corys, you could write them letters, and you could they had somebody to you could mail in letters back
Yeah, like
then,
fan
right?
clubs.
And somebody would receive them and open them and probably read them or whatever. One of the Corys said that he would actually read some of it, right?
Mm,
Because he would respond back in his own handwriting, type of thing,
mm.
right? So, and then they had like a I remember I saw something not long ago. They had like a hotline you could call, and they were telling you to make sure you talk to your parents to get permission because you're gonna get this huge phone bill, right?
Yeah,
Anyway, so yeah, I mean that's what that lady did for Selena. She was the fan club president or something.
she was.
Yeah,
She,
and
yeah,
back
where
then it
there's
was more paper,
merchandise and
right? It was like what took place. I mean, what took over now, social media, right, and
mhm.
all of that
And
stuff.
she
Now
was
it's all
embezzling from it.
electronic, right? Is what she was basically running back then with the paper trail, basically of a paper trail.
Yeah.
The clothing, the clothing store, or what do you call it? A merch, the merch,
She had,
basically.
yeah, she had a
Yeah,
clothing store, Selena
right. So
Clothing Store.
she was responsible for the merch. She was responsible for like the letters, and so basically, it was just basically the paper trail of what is now, social media. That's basically what it
Yeah,
was. So
yeah. So, Kane, I just looked it up. So Yolanda is 64 years old. Little Milky, the Corey hotline was real. I was I was just too young for that. I would
oh
have
my
called
God,
the
dude, I
Corey
can't
home
believe you
line
probably would have been
in a
spending like
heartbeat.
20, like you would have cost your parents extra $100 a month calling the Corey line, Corey hotline.
I loved Corey Haim, and when he died, oh, that was horrible. And then when like he was going through his addictions and like seeing that on TV, because he had a reality show that I was obsessed with Corey Haim, and he was so in active addiction.
People
It
have
was
no
so sad.
idea. Well, more like kids right now of the privilege that it is to have a cell phone, and rather than having to
Mm,
call long distance and having like a huge phone bill. Yeah, if you
mhm.
had a friend, out of your area code, and you had to call the one and then the zip code, dial that, just to have like an hour conversation was going to cost you a lot of money.
Mhm. Yeah. Danny now calls the Mickey hotline, the Mickey Dolenz line. I wish. Oh, I I either would be blocked for
Dude,
calling too
I
much.
could see you like as a kid on one of those like MTV commercials, like a little, calling your favorite artist or something. Like,
Yeah.
oh, look at you.
And as you're on hold waiting for Mickey to pick up, you just hear, "Hey, hey, with the monkeys." Oh, don't threaten me with a
That is
good
so
time,
funny.
James Watson. James says, yes, heard of the Yorkshire Ripper. Yes, I have. All right. So,
Is James is he English?
James, I will let you answer that question. Mr. Beckham would like to know, are you English, your age, blood type, social security number,
If he's
next of
English, they don't have
kin,
social security numbers. They have
your complete bio, your background, 6 months of
well,
bank
hello,
statements so we
James.
can do a profile on you based on how you spend your money.
Well, hello, James. Well,
Yes, he
I just
is
wanted
2 a.m. here.
yes, I wanted to practice my English accent.
Little Milky, stop it. Oh,
See, Danny, you missed out on the bracelet.
oh, I
Maybe you can find it
know.
on eBay.
But if I was around for that, I'd be like 40 years older than I am. So, and then I actually would be a mother figure to you, even more so than I already am.
Probably.
Danny was probably into NSYNC. I was into like everything back then. NSYNC was one of them. I know, I know, I know. James, okay, while you're here, I mentioned it earlier. So CrimeCon UK, a couple of friends of the show who are just amazing podcasters. Neil and Megan from the Mortal Musings podcast and Esther from the Once Upon a Crime podcast. It was announced today that they are doing an event at CrimeCon UK, June 7th and 8th, a test your killer knowledge. So if that's like in your area and you're like, I'm into true crime and I want to go to CrimeCon UK.
I always wanted to work, James. I always wanted to work for MI6.
I don't know what that is, Beckham.
Look it up.
I'm all set, thank you. So I'm so mean.
Maybe MI5 or 7, depending on the time period.
I'll look into CrimeCon UK. You should. Oh my god! If you go,
Yeah, you
let
should
me
go,
know
James.
how it
That'd be
is.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was messaging with Neil earlier from that podcast because it's very different than CrimeCon US in regards to space, the amount of people, but nonetheless, like I so want to go. But if that's something you're able to go, let me know and let me know how it is. And yeah, Neil and Megan have. If you do go, they did. Neil was like, make sure they know discount code mortal to get you a discount
I
off
heard of
CrimeCon tickets.
James. Are you into spy stuff? I heard one of the best quotes on a true spy, an American, today. It was pretty interesting. To build, it's really quick. To build a wilderness of mirrors. Just kind of trick you with information. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I would have let you go into more detail had you not been 18 and a half.
That's
18
it. I was
minutes and 47 seconds
that's pretty
late.
interesting. I liked it. It's pretty good.
Beckham, are you into the JFK files? Yes, he is. I am too, but Beckham more so. Talk about it in the chat with Beckham because I'm not having him take over. Where's Agent Sam Smith? Good question.
Speak of the
Maybe
devil
he's
of
on his way to
JFK. That was
CrimeCon
actually
UK
one of
in
the
June.
spot. Yeah, that's one of the spies, basically, that I came up with.
I love spy stuff. James says, I found out when my mom was pregnant with me, she walked over the steps. 5 minutes after she walked over the steps, someone was attacked by the Yorkshire Ripper. James, that is
I'll have to check it out. Spooks.
That is freaky. Oh my God. All right. Well, thank you.
Dude, I still want to. I do want. I mean, this is a possible trip of mine. I want to do. I don't. If I do it, I'm not sure, but I do. I am kind of thinking on it to go visit the Jack the Ripper.
Beckham. Yes. If we go to CrimeCon 2026 in CrimeCon UK, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Has that already been announced?
No.
Oh. I was like, wait, did you get information that I don't know?
I will have the Mortal Musings podcasts. Megan and Neil let me know. Because we'll talk about CrimeCon UK. We'll talk.
Yeah, he was, James. He was drug addicted.
I've always wanted to go.
But not, he wasn't, I've never heard anything, he was far from homosexual, but he had a lot of side women. That's a fact. So much that the Secret Service just got tired of screening the women, which I still don't understand with the spy war between the Russians and in America at the time, the Cold War, the spy wars, how the Russians did not get a lady of the night to actually get through security since the secrets it was so common. Secret Service kind of just like, whatever, here's the next one, here's the next one, here's the next. They got laxed in screening the women, that the Russians didn't have a spy and ultimately assassinate JFK the way JFK and his cabinet wanted to do to Castro.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's far from that. There was plenty of women that he had on the side, including some famous women too. Some very famous women too.
Beckham, do I sense some jealousy?
No. Because I don't have my head blown off on live TV.
I didn't. Oh my God. I didn't know that.
Oh.
Oh my. I mean, I know I give you a hard time, but geez. Gosh. I mean, I would say it'd be hard to get another co-host, but Tony Stewart's been on it, sending me breaking news stuff. So you hear that, Tony Stewart, you're on deck. So all right.
Like, no, that kind of game, no.
All right, going on to the next. So 2 more stories for you. The last one, or cases, I should say. The last one will be Karen Reed. But before we do that, We're going to be talking about a little bit about Lori Vallow Daybell, who is the wife of who?
Chad Daybell.
Yes, thank you. So, all right, I got this on my phone, and this is from idahonews.com. So, as we know, Lori Vallow Daybell's new trial is supposed to be starting very, very soon, like now-ish. And the defense is not ready. The prosecutors, have not been able to, they were saying we're not going to be able to get in contact with everybody from the defense, Lori's, witness list that they want to call it for to be on the stand for testimony. But of course, Lori Vallow is leading her own defense and doesn't give a shit. And she's like, oh no, let's go. So anyway, one of the people that Lori wants to be called is reporter Nate Eaton with the East Idaho News. And he has just filed an emergency motion in response to Lori Vallow Daybell, including him on her witness list. So this motion, he's asking the judge to remove him from Lori's witness list, stating that he's a reporter and has no firsthand knowledge of the crime she is accused. He is saying that by listing him as a witness, he would be barred from the courtroom during the trial, and that's an abuse of criminal procedures. Let's see. So one of the things that Lori, of course, isn't taking this well, and she is alleging that the prosecution gave Nate Eaton off-the-record advice on how to avoid being subpoenaed. Nate Eaton is a reporter who knows the criminal justice system just from doing the job that he does. I do not see him going to the prosecution being like, tell me how to get out of this. No. Lori, it's very clear that she's grasping at straws, in my humble opinion. Nate Eaton posted on his Facebook account, and I'm just going to read it directly. He says, well, Lori Vallow Daybell has filed a motion to have her case dismissed because of prosecutorial misconduct. Among other things, she alleges the prosecutor gave me off-the-record advice on how to avoid being a subpoena. I'll set the record straight. Plus, go through several other newly filed court documents. Tonight, 7 p.m. on the Courtroom Insider. Join him there on the East Idaho News YouTube channel as well, if that's something you want to watch and break down. But yeah, she is unbelievable. She wants to have the case dismissed. She's a piece of work. This is going to be a really fun trial to watch, y'all. And I say fun.
She's nuts. Of course, it's going to be it's going to be crazy, dude.
She's going to be acquitted. Be on Dancing with the Stars.
In her mind.
Chad Daybell, known as the Storm, will live happily ever after. Like, oh my God, this is going to be a very interesting trial to watch. Yeah.
Do you think she'll be approved to eat Jello pudding pops in the court?
Let's hope she doesn't pull a Sarah Boone.
That's it. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
God,
but isn't she going to
Pop-Tarts?
Isn't she going to represent herself, or is that somebody? I thought she was going to represent herself. No.
Sarah Boone?
No.
Oh, Lori is. She
that's okay. That's what I did.
herself, but she has some defense lawyers under her.
Okay, right under her, right? Oh, here we go. It's going to be a whole thing with her.
Who represented himself? He had point a court.
It's going to be a whole thing with her, man. It's going to be a crazy, show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because she's going to have, if you're representing yourself, she will be able to cross-examine witnesses on this. I mean, and even she's not a skilled interviewer. Like even her own witnesses, whoever she thinks she's going to call to help out her case. Oof, can't wait to watch every day. Sarah,
that judge probably has to be really agitated, knowing he's going to have to shut her down lots of times.
Oh, 100%. But also because if, come on, she's found guilty, of course she's going to appeal. And you know what she's going to do? she'll probably say ineffective counsel. Like, so the judge will want to do his job too to make sure that if and when, let's be honest, she's found guilty, that she doesn't have a legit reason to appeal. That's why the judge keeps saying, like, you keep trying to push this forward and all the ducks are not in the row. Do you know what you're doing? And she's like, yeah, I do.
Do they still make Jello pudding pops?
For Christ's sakes. I thought this was a true crime channel where we really got down to like the meat of what these cases are about.
She needs to get what's her name to help her. That would
Sarah
be that
Boone.
would.
Oh,
No.
Casey Anthony.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
your
would be
girl,
something.
Casey Anthony.
That would be something right there.
Oh, it would. If Casey Anthony walked into court and was like, I'm here to help represent
Oh
Lori,
my God, dude. The cameras would lit up.
I would go home sick that
And
day. And I would
what?
just call out of work like the next week or two.
Yeah, I know you
however
would.
long
You
the
would
case
just
lasted.
you would just go, hey, make sure you go get your snacks because you're gonna be that's all you're gonna be doing is watching.
Oh my God. I'd say to my boss, I need to be put on, a leave. I have to watch this. This is going to be groundbreaking entertainment.
That would be, I would probably, I would probably just like watch some of it.
Becca would be like, I need to work from home every day for the next 3 weeks. Have it on in the background.
Can you imagine? She probably gets a tan, gets her hair done, a tan, and just to appeal to the masses.
She's a legal advocate now, folks. You can hire her. Go to, I'm not gonna,
James. I don't know if James was here, but didn't you want him to try that for you for the show? To contact her and ask her about the legal advice?
Did I? I don't remember.
Yeah, you did.
Like
James wasn't in the chat, and you were like, "We need to get James to do that for us." You're like, "Can you contact with Casey Anthony and pretend you need legal advice?"
Tony Stewart, screw Casey Anthony. Sarah
James,
Boone on
Danny has a job.
Cover.
James, Danny has a job for you.
God, Lord help us all. I'm surprised Beckham is allowed on the internet after that bottle shaking incident the other night.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, for those of you who are wondering what that's about, again, over on the Paulcast Manson Saga discussion panel, Paul did part 1 of the interview with Anthony DiMaria, and then me, Paul, and Mr. Beckham did a kind of let's talk about part 1 of the interview show, where Paul was able to give a little bit more background into the interview, talk about some documents that Anthony had shared, which Paul did post on the Instagram page for the Paulcast as well as the Facebook group. But also me and Beckham got to talk about, how we watched the interview or listened to the interview and kind of what our takeaways from it. But anyway, Beckham had a bottle that he needed to shake and decided to do it on camera, and it looked rather suggestive. And
to what, Danny? To what? It was just
Beckham,
a shake.
this is a family show. I'm not going to say what it looked like.
Of a can. That's it.
But I was sent, James Watson, thank you, a screenshot of Beckham shaking the bottle. And wow. Yeah, I'm surprised that the Paulcast channel didn't get taken down for that. It was quite suggestive. Yeah, that was awesome. And James Watson, that screenshot, that was waiting for us. So the second the show ended, that picture was right there.
Yeah, come on, James. Really? You're gonna do that to me?
Made my night. Oh, why do you do that to you, please? You know what? Maybe if you were here on time, you could have addressed it earlier. Oh well, time has passed. All right. The last case. I'm scrolling through my notes. Karen Reed. You would think, Danny, the second trial hasn't started yet. It's about to start on April 1st. What is there to talk about? Oh my God, what is there to talk about? Like
April 1st is a Monday, Tuesday. It's Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday.
So there was a few more court hearings and then a few more things that came out. So Judge Bev, she issued a ruling on the proposed buffer zone around the courthouse. So this last trial, I believe it was 200 feet. She's extending it now, like really extending it now, so that the people that are, I hate to say the free Karen Reed side and the Justice for John O'Keefe side are quite a bit of a ways from the courthouse. Let's be honest. You can say free Karen Reed because I want justice for John O'Keefe. It can be one and the same. A lot of people don't get that.
Are they okay? I was going to ask you, are those two groups now like linked together?
No,
Have they
they're very. If you go
have
back,
they joined forces? Is what I'm saying.
No, they are hot. Okay, let me
So
rewind.
it's the opposite. Okay, I wasn't sure.
From what I've seen personally from going to the courthouse, Justice for John O'Keefe side is very hostile towards the free Karen Reed movement side. And I know people can say, well, I've seen what you see on TV, because what I saw on TV and what I expected when I went was very different than when I was there. It was, the news just makes it look a little different. But yeah, no, it is not. And it's sad because it's like you're either this side or this side, but you can be both. You can say, I want justice for John O'Keefe, but I don't think Karen Reed did it. Or I want justice for John O'Keefe, but the state really fucked up the case, so there's reasonable doubt and she needs to be acquitted. This needs to hang on the Mass State Police for doing the job incorrectly. But that would be too easy.
That and like the other three suspects that the defense has actually named. The defense has actually named 3 potential suspects that we went over last week. So
yep, Brian Albert.
They should really focus their attention on that rather than
Oh, they're going to. They're going to. But again, we're just talking about what happened this week in regards to before the trial starts now. So that buffer zone will be much wider. So for people who are going to the courthouse, like the jurors won't see as many as the, people protesting outside for one, whatever side you're on. Judge Bev did throw out the prosecution's request to see phone messages between Karen Reed and one of her attorneys, David Giannetti. Again, even though she signed that information could be released, the prosecution they're arguing that Karen gave up her right to those messages by talking about them in public. As we know, Karen Reed has done some interviews. So the defense is saying that they're in the process of arguing that we should have those records. But again, there's lawyer-client confidentiality. Well, the defense was actually in the middle of arguing one of their points, and Judge Bev interrupted them and say, I've already made up my mind. Turning over the messages would be completely inappropriate, so we're not doing that. I will give Judge Bev that. I will not give her a lot of credit on anything with this case. I think she's very biased, but I will give her that. Look at PJ, reasonable doubt, 100%. So Judge Bev, as far as I knew, this information hadn't come out yet, still must decide on the prosecution's request to exclude testimony of a former FBI agent who's expected to criticize the handling of the investigation. Gee, prosecution, why would you want an FBI agent on? What's wrong with an FBI agent taking the stand saying that they handled the case poorly and it was fucked up?
Oh yeah, I mean you're going to have an expert on the federal level possibly talking about how the correct way to gather evidence, present the evidence, and all that stuff, right?
Like even if Judge Bev says, okay, I'll grant you that we won't have him on the stand.
Right.
There's still a million, we all know, and the defense is going to bring that up. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's going to be hush hush that the state really fucked it up. But nonetheless, they're trying. Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan, he is asking also to see all the unedited videos of Karen Reed's interviews with producers of the new documentary series, Quote, the defendant voluntarily and intentionally disclosed the existence of these communications and her initial thoughts and her culpability for causing the death of John O'Keefe during various public interviews, end quote. They tried before. Remember, she did an interview with a New York reporter, and they tried. That was shut down. The judge said no, the reporter does not have to give over any unedited things. So they're still trying here. Like, what do they expect? What do they expect? She's going to say, hey, I did commit the murders. 1, 2, 3, rolling. Okay, now I'm in it. Like, what do they expect? Come on. All right. Hank Brennan, let's see. Oh, okay. So this recently came out in Beckham. I really want to hear your take on this. So we learned that, do you remember when there was closing arguments, there was a juror that was dismissed like the last day, and we didn't
Yeah, I
know
think
why.
so a little bit, right? Because it was kind of made of some storyline, about
Yeah, it was just
yeah.
like a juror was dismissed the last day, and we were all like, wait, what? But we weren't told why. It wasn't our business to know why. Well, that information came out. So what happened was the Dedham police, I'm just summing it up, went to the, Judge Bev and the court to say one of the jurors was at a bar at the local VFW, was talking about the case, and we recorded the audio. And so they wanted her thrown off. The interesting thing to that is the jurors were never shown on camera. So if you're the average person, you did not know who a juror was. You had no clue. I could have walked by one in the street even today, and I wouldn't have known that they were on there. So how did somebody spot a juror there, just an average person, in regards to recording them? One, where Massachusetts is a two-party consent state, you have to have consent to record. And 3, they did not. So the states say, oh yeah, the Dedham police, oh yeah, we have it on audio. Did they produce it? No. They're just saying, oh, we have it. Take our word, we have it. So the judge had said, like, pulled that juror aside. Again, I'm just summing it up. It was basically like, here's what's being alleged. And it was like a month prior. About a month ago, were you at a bar and were you, and the girl was, we learned it's female. I don't know. I was drinking. I don't think so, type of thing. I can't remember, and she got dismissed. And it's very interesting that the Dedham police got this. And again, who would be able to match that voice to that? There's way too many things in play here. It looks very much like the the prosecution wanted that juror off, wanted that juror to get thrown out. It just doesn't make sense when you have to think of all the
God,
things
there's a
in motion.
movie.
How did you know that one person? How could anybody have known, unless you were a police officer that was in court, who would have known who the jurors were? Because even if you were a law enforcement officer who just was on the Dedham police, but you weren't in the courtroom for the trial, you would not have known that was a juror.
So, Danny, have you ever seen this movie? It's really good. It might give you a perspective of how things work behind the scenes on a high-profile case. Have you ever seen Runaway Jury, the movie?
I don't think I have.
It's a 2003. It's a thriller mystery. It has a lot of really great actors in it. I'm talking like A-listers in this movie, and I think it's about that, like the strategic aspect of putting together a jury for a major profile, high profile case. It's really good. I know it's 2003, but it's A-list across the board as far as actors go. Gene Hackman is in it. So it's like if you really, I mean, it's a good movie. It's something to watch. It kind of give you a perspective of how those things happen behind the scenes, and you're gonna be like, holy crap, wow, they have like access to that kind of stuff or that information or that kind of thing. So if you watch the movie, it kind of gives you an insight to that. So
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's a
Yep.
good recommendation, not just for me, but for anybody who's watching this and is like, oh, gee, I want to check that out. I will say, if it was any other trial, I probably wouldn't question it as much. But because it's this trial, let's see. K-Dog saying state police countrywide seem to be the most arrogant of all police. Hey, William Eddy, I saw you coming earlier. Welcome. Good to see you. Wolf, hello. We don't live in darkness. Darkness lives in
Dude, the
us.
movie has, hold on, the movie has Gene Hackman, John Cusack, Dustin Hoffman, Rachel Weisz, Jeremy Piven, and the list goes on and on and on, man. Like it's an A list across the board. You'll recognize all these actors. You'll be like, oh, I know, for sure. Like, bam, bam, bam. It's like, it's
Nice.
kind of like into that aspect of it.
Rest in peace, Gene Hackman, by the way. Oh. I know, Kate. I know. Right when you said Gene Hackman, Beckham, I was like, oh, that's.
What's up, William?
Let's see. Tony Stewart says it's amazing what jury info gets leaked. Yep, but I don't trust this one. I don't, because again, you would have had to go to the judge and say, "Hey, we have this audio here. Get this person thrown off." Where's the audio? Because the defense,
yeah, I mean, right,
argued,
and
I'm telling you, man, they don't want this juror thrown off on the last day.
They got people working behind the scenes. I'm telling you, whether it's a private investigator or some sort of unit or something to gather intel, because it's still you're still needing intel to the up to the last day. Apparently, to the last day.
But it's one thing I could get it if it was produced and it was.
Yeah. Well, again, but they have their ways,
someone's
man.
Voice. How are you going to be like, this voice goes to that person? There's just way too many. But they didn't produce the audio. That's the thing. All right. It's not just a murder trial. It's a demonstration of how police, prosecutors, and the media can manipulate evidence to protect their own. James, spot on for everything you just said. Yes. I don't live stream much anymore. Oh, that's too bad. Grand jury versus juries are different things. Yes, that is very true. That is correct, Tony Stewart. So, and if you're thinking, well, Danny, is that all the Karen Reed news?
No. I have something that I saw late today.
I think we'll get to that.
Oh, I think I think I know you.
There's been a new attorney, a new defense attorney that has joined the Karen Reed defense team, and not just any attorney, Victoria George. Victoria was an alternate juror in the first trial. So, since she was an alternate,
and she's an attorney, right?
Mm-hmm, she is allowed to join the defense. When I tell you the prosecution, Hank Brennan is not happy. Oh, he is not happy. So she is listed now as working for David Dinetti's law firm by the Board of Bar Overseers. And had I known that was the way I could get into working with David Dinetti, you know what, y'all? I'm making an announcement right now. I'm going to go to law school. If it's that simple, right, Beckham? Do you have faith in me?
I have faith in you, Danny.
Thank you. So she made a statement, but now she can't make any going forward because, as we know, the defense attorneys and the prosecutors are now under a gag order, so they can't make statements going forward. But she made one before jumping on. So the statement was, quote, "I was a fair-minded juror who left this trial questioning the integrity of the system long before the defense filed a motion to dismiss with allegations of jury tampering. It is the Reed case itself and the fact that it is still being brought that has left many in Massachusetts wary, distrustful, and scared of our system. As a lawyer, this really saddens me even more because I remember how much faith I had in our system as an optimistic law student," end quote. Beckham, what do you think of this?
It's just another another aspect to this case that makes it more, intrigues it, brings another, something different. It's gonna really, could it be something essential to help them? I mean, we'll see, but it's just another thing, something else that just kind of adds on to this whole magnitude of energy that this case has. Just everything that just has molded this case into what it is.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be interesting to see that, of course, yeah, because now she's got a different. I'm pretty sure she has insight, right, and
Hmm.
personalized opinion and all that kind of stuff. So I don't,
Yeah. Karen Reed has quite a defense team. I mean, they're still,
that are
um,
probably leaning on her on the side of her being innocent.
oh, 100%. No, they're
Right.
not going in there being like, all right, it's last minute. Let's take a plea. Oh, no, they are going full force and making the Commonwealth look really bad. I mean, but to be honest, it's justified. Look at the way the case was handled. It is what it is. And yeah, the state are choosing to go through this again. So, all right, Beckham. As Beckham was saying, there was court today, and I think this might be some of the stuff you saw, but if I missed anything, please let me know. So today, the prosecution was in front of a different judge, and he, yeah, he basically laid it down a little bit on Hank
Yeah.
Brennan. It was
It
quite
was
nice to
funny.
see.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, quick plug, Defense Diaries. That podcast is amazing. It's attorney Bob Mata and his wife Allie. They are both defense attorneys. So they have a podcast and a YouTube channel. So what I really like about their channel is they will play, like today, they played what happened in court, and then Bob would pause and kind of give his defense attorney experience input. So it's really good because they break it down and they'll pull up the court documents and break it down. And I actually met Bob Mata at my first crime con. His father was one of John Wayne Gacy's attorneys. So Bob Mata is amazing in his own right, though. But anyway, so I watched that earlier today when I was kind of getting the insight of what happened today. So again, the prosecution was still trying to get messages from Turtle Boy, Aiden Carney, and Karen Reed, but that's not going to happen. Judge, and I'm probably going to butcher his last name, Judge Satiski. He basically shut down prosecutors Hank Brennan and Cosgrove for trying to disobey his order about sharing communications between Turtle Boy's phones and Karen Reed's to Hank Brennan. And the thing is, the judge had basically said that it could only be because of like very particular messages that would be evidence of witness intimidation, which of course Turtle Boy's like, no, Karen Reed didn't put me up to any type of go harass these witnesses or go harass these people. No, Karen Reed didn't do that. And for anybody that's from this area and knows Turtle Boy, he does what he wants to do. No one needs to tell him what to do. And the thing is, the Cosgrove shared all of, or was going to be sharing all of the evidence, basically on Turtle Boy's phone, his phone data, to Hank Brennan, basically trying to get around it and be like, here, take all of it. And then they got in front of the judge. And Hank Brennan, did you see him? He said, oh, I misunderstood. Like, and the judge was like, was I not clear? What, like, no, was I not clear? And Hank Brennan, like, it was just so pitiful. Like, you got busted. You got busted trying to be shit. If that was the defense, he would have been outraged. But of course, it's Hank Brennan. Just, misunderstanding. It was a misunderstanding. Like, cut the crap.
He pretty much tried to do what he was trying to pull with the female judge. I mean, what
Judge Bev.
Bev, yeah.
But it's just like, watching it was like, you are accused Hank Brennan, who you are a defense attorney. You're a defense attorney who now is just being a special prosecutor in this case. All these things you're accusing the defense of. Oh, this and then withhold. Look what you just did,
as
and
much
you
of
got caught.
as much as we talked about his history and all that, I'm kind of disappointed in that dude.
In Hank Brennan? Oh, yeah. Bob Mata and his wife Allie today on Defense Diaries were, oh my gosh, they were like, shame on him. Like,
yeah,
shame.
I thought
Nobody should
it's
ever
almost like
hire him as a defense
it's almost
attorney
like it's
ever
just
again.
he's become like a nagging like ex or something like, and I thought he would have brought more professionalism. I thought he would have brought more of a sternness to really gather anything that they were trying. You know what I mean? Like, because I get it. He's coming in trying to salvage the case, really, right? To have something presentable. But man, he's just like, oh, it's just all the little things that he's doing. It's not really giving him any. It's not giving the Commonwealth or the prosecution a better look than what you know. Then I thought he was gonna bring a better statute, a better look to the prosecution / Commonwealth. But he's reverted from that. To me personally, I'm I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh, yeah, I would be a great hanging judge, totally. Who the hell is Turtle Boy? Aiden Carney. So he started out, oh my God, well over 10 years ago, as a blogger doing Turtle Boy. He called himself like Turtle Boy Sports. And it's just now he covers cases. Yeah, long history of Turtle Boy. You can look him up online, Aiden Carney. So just to wrap that point up, because there's more. So now Cosgrove has until Monday to look at Turtle Boy Aiden Carney's phone extractions and only share the messages that comply with this Judge Satisky's narrow order. And of course, Turtle Boy's like, there's going to be zero communications that are going to be brought forward because there was no witness intimidation. Karen Reed was never saying,
hey, James, this is a learned lesson. If you ever communicate with somebody like a Karen Reed on trial, beware of what you send her in text message because it could come back later for the world to see. And now more to the story. So just James, just a little advice.
Yeah. The judge said, basically accusing them of willfully misunderstanding his order. Yeah, I liked that. He called them on their shit. So that was not all. Hank Brennan filed a new document in court today. After this, so this has been brought time and time and time again, Hank Brennan, and it gets denied. And he keeps filing motions and keeps filing motions. It's about the ARCA experts. And on Defense Diaries today on their live podcast, they went through and broke down every point in there. We want all documents pertaining from ARCA to, you already have it. You already have it. It's like all this stuff. He already has it, and he keeps re-asking for it or saying, oh, no, they need to be thrown out as witnesses. They shouldn't be used. And then again, Hank Brennan keeps saying, I'm not trying to say, it's Karen Reed's rights to call whatever witnesses they want. We're not trying to stop that, but we want the ARCA witnesses thrown out. And keep in mind, the ARCA witnesses did their report and submitted all of their findings prior to it being like when the defense got the bill. And then they contacted the state and was like, what do we do? Do we pay this? It wasn't like they got the report and then was like, okay, let's go this over. And now no. They were an independent party hired to review this. And it worked. It works in the defense's favor. They're saying these markings, these bruises, these cuts on John O'Keefe are not consistent with a vehicle hitting him. And Hank wants them thrown out. And he is just going nonstop. And the judge keeps denied. Even today, he's still putting in motions to get them tossed.
Well, because there's still people out there, I won't say any names, that believe that O'Keefe got run over, and I was like, no, man, you know who I'm talking about. I was like,
Mhm.
no, there's an examiner, and everybody's saying that he had, markings and bruising and cuts and stuff not consistent with getting hit by a car on a
Mhm.
specified part of the car, right? They analyzed all that, and then it does not match. So, right. So that's gonna, of course, that was vital to the prosecution. I mean, to the defense, and he's just trying to get rid of it again to give himself an edge. I get it, but he's really like he's just really going over, like way over, the
Mhm.
threshold of standing there and like looking more foolish every time.
That's Beckham. That's exactly it. He's
Yeah,
looking foolish. Like
right.
I like, okay, the state hired him because he is a longtime defense attorney. He has the experience. He helped he represented Whitey Bulger. So it's like, okay, great. We have somebody who gets it from the defense side so they can bring that expertise to help us try to convict Karen Reed. And it's, oh my, he looks like an idiot. Like you just said, he looks foolish. Like he keeps going over the same thing round and round and round and round. And it's like, okay, part of what you can do, Hank Brennan, is it's called cross-examine. It's called cross-examine. Hire your own experts to disprove. If you're not happy with
No,
what
he took all the money available. It's
oh, well,
him.
too bad, so sad. I don't
He
know what
took
to
the
say.
whatever it was in cash, $82,000 in cash. So he took it.
Well, right now, the state of Massachusetts is saving money after Trooper Proctor got fired, so there's no more salary being paid. Use that money to hire an independent and hire somebody else to do
Mhm.
a reconstruction. See what they say. Put them on the stand. Gee, did you think of that? No.
Tell him, Danny. Tell him.
If this wasn't okay, it was an independent investigation that the government brought in on this case because the state of Massachusetts, the Canton Police, the Mass State Police Department fucked it up so bad across the board. Every little step fucked it up completely. So, because of the state's actions, this had another party, the state,
Yeah.
the feds, the government had to hire an independent investigation. And what do you know? It doesn't align with what the state's putting forward. Sorry, that sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Because you know good and damn well if this independent party came forward and said, this does match that a
Oh, of
vehicle
course.
hit
It'd be
him.
flipped, and he'd be like, "Oh, yeah, of course."
Yeah. But no, it doesn't. So you want that thrown out. And gee, what else was thrown out? Gee, Beckham. Let me think. The original footage from the
Yeah, I was
Canton
gonna
Sally
remember that.
Port.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hank Brennan. You were so calm at the stand, or at the podium, saying to Judge Bev, "Yeah, we threw out the original footage. The case is a few years old. Yeah, we got rid of it. So just take all these little pieces that we cut and flipped the timestamp on. Here, take those. Take those.
Does
Are you
not
kidding me?
seem right.
Like, am I going mad? I don't. Oh my God. I am waiting for Jackson to for
Oh,
defense
once
attorney
it
Alan
start,
Jackson.
yeah, once it starts, right? Yeah.
He was a pit bull the first trial. Oh, he's going to be unleashed at the second. I cannot wait. I cannot. Back up. You know what's funny? I didn't even. Oh my God. I meant to message you when I got out of work and I totally forgot because I had shit to do. One of my coworker friends said to me today, she's like, oh, are you taking off? It was like something like, are you taking off a day next week? And I was like, no, why? She's like, the trial's starting. Aren't you going to be outside the courthouse? I was like, thank you.
It's just jury selection,
It's
not
just
yet.
jury selection, and that's going to take weeks. But I'm like, oh my God, my girl knows me. She knows me. Because yes, I will be taking a well-deserved vacation day to stand outside Norfolk County District Court. All right. lot of you guys in the chat. All right, let's see. Busted. Was this? If I was in court and Danny was the judge, I'd ask for another judge.
Now, James, we must
Yeah.
ask if O'Keefe was launched back into the left.
Turtle Boy in cuffs. Yeah. No, if you go, you're gonna find his arrest pictures. Yep, he's been arrested. Yep. Give us some names, Beckham. Capone. Cars don't leave dog bites.
And cuts and bruises on different parts of the body where they probably.
But it's also, yeah, I think he was like, I think he got the shit beat out of him. Yeah.
And a dog bit him at the same time.
Chloe the dog. James, maybe it was a magic car, like the magic bullet. Well. Massachusetts corruption. I know. It's so. I mean, y'all know. When this story first broke, and looking at Karen Reed, and like, I'm like, what is she doing? Like standing outside smirking. She's on trial, gonna be on trial for supposedly murdering, whether it's second degree for whatever charge they were trying to do, a Boston police officer, another person. And then hearing this play out, and of course, like the state was like, during the whole trial, just wait for it. We got it. Just wait for it. And then the whole trial came and went. And I'm like, not only did you not present really anything, but the defense just ripped you to shreds. Trooper Proctor. Just all I have to say is Trooper Proctor. Trooper Proctor equals reasonable doubt. Done.
Very
Save
easy,
my taxpayer money. Unbelievable. Oh, terrible. Okay, I missed when you deleted your one because of terrible grammar. That's all fine. So yeah, the second trial is scheduled to start April 1st. And by April 1st, meeting jury selection. And it's going to take several weeks. So yeah, Beckham, was there anything that I missed from what you saw
No,
today?
you covered the text message stuff that I thought was it was interesting. Yeah, that's what I caught late today because that came out today, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Today,
yeah. And I don't know about you, Beckham, but it was really nice seeing that other judge, like,
yeah, it was a different,
like,
it was definitely it was a different tone. Yeah, definitely had a different tone. Like he was going to be in command. He wasn't going to let none of the BS go around and around and around.
Mm-hmm.
He was very, he stood his, what the young people say now. He stood on his business. He stood on business. So he took care of he took care of whatever needed to be handled, man.
I don't know that quote, so clearly I'm not part of what the young people are. So
yeah, he stood on business, Danny.
He stood on business. Yeah. But I'm like, oh, why is this judge not handling the second trial?
Right. I mean, it's gonna show you. Had this judge been doing the first round, we wouldn't even be here. It would probably have been different, but
Yeah. And I'm just waiting because Judge Bev during the first trial, and again, yes, it's my opinion, but I feel like if you also go back and watch it, you're going to be like, Danny, yeah, that's what we saw. She was very biased, and these in between kind of, court dates, she's super biased. So going into round 2, yeah, she does not like Alan Jackson, defense attorney Alan Jackson. It makes it very well known. Very well known. So I'm just so curious how it's like when you like the jury's going to pick up on that. Like they're going to, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this because, yeah, get Karen Reed acquitted. Reasonable doubt. There's a ton. No, not the country star, for Christ's sakes. You say this every week. Anyway, oh my gosh, hour 45. And here I'm like, oh my gosh, we have like nothing to talk about. Let's just chill. Oh God. Yeah, what a week. What a week.
It's been a long week, man.
Mm-hmm.
More to come, more to the story. Who's that famous quote? Some radio personality, and more to the story. So we'll have all that. It ain't over, man. We got more to cover.
Yeah, absolutely. So next week, I am again, I'm so behind on like reading and show. I'm hoping I can have a book that I've read that I've been meaning to review for you guys. I hope I can have my notes done for that to do a book review. If not, I might have to just sit that one out and then pick up for the true crime and chill. But I will try my best to keep y'all posted. Again, in the next couple of days, stay tuned if you want to be a part of the Danny After Dark book club. I will be posting in the Facebook group, and I know some of you I'm on the email with because you're not on Facebook to kind of say here's what the 4 or 5 books that we're voting on for April, and get your vote in. We'll decide and yeah, plan for the April Danny After Dark book club. Beckham, you need to be a part of the book club.
I know I still got a couple books I have to get through. Unless you make one of the books, Get it?
All you can do is suggest, and I can put it in the thing. You know what,
Yeah,
everybody?
yeah. Because yeah,
Translation.
hey, let's yeah. Like when is the voting for that, or when are you gonna do that?
I'll be posting it in the next day or so. People have just been messaging, like DMing me, like, "Hey, can you add this book to for a book club recommendation?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get it on the Google Doc." And
Yep.
yeah, you know what, everybody? Translation. Beckham's like, "I'm sorry, but I will not be the star of the show on a book club review, and Danny will not tolerate me showing up 20 minutes late."
I haven't got to. I started the first few pages on this one. This is the one that Corey sent me.
Mm,
We've talked about the
20 mil back. Yep.
we've talked about the what I always thought though before even any information came out. I was like always thought about, man, probably the best serial killer would be somebody on the move, legally on the move. And that was to me, I was like, hey, a truck driver, right? Because they're gonna interstate and all that, right?
Mhm.
So FBI comes around and says, hey, does this exist? Actually, it does. So they have a unit specified now to work these hundreds of missing people's cases that dealt with truck driving, possibly serial killers of truck driving. And there's a book on it. And this is the book that Corey sent me that I
Okay, you want
started
to
to read.
show it or say what
Yeah,
it
yeah, I
is?
have it right here. That started to read, but maybe everybody. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be. It could be an easy, quick read, but it's very informative of ex-retired FBI agent. It's called The Long Haul,
Let me.
and it's hunting. It's called The Long Haul, hunting the highway serial killers. It's written by a retired FBI agent. That's of course part of the. I think he worked on the what's it like the not that the God the criminal the psychology unit that deals with the serial killers. What is it called? Oh, yeah, they call it. I forgot the name of it, but
The
anyway,
behavioral unit?
behavior. That's it. Yeah. So I think he worked with the behavioral unions some towards the end of his career, but yeah.
I will add it to the list.
Thank you.
So it's what the people want. It's what when I do the polls, I'm not voting in it because I just don't think that's right. I want y'all to vote, and then that's what we'll do. Because yeah, I would want to just check all of them because I'd be like, yes, I want them all. But we'll add it. We'll add it. So make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. James, now I need to mock Beckham. To be fair, he is not in the book club, but can he even read? Ooh, look at that. He goes from getting you a cameo where I have to praise you to this little dig. James, I like this. This is the side of James that I like. Yeah, very
Come
much.
on, James.
Tony Stewart, isn't the book club more of a woman thing? No, it is
No,
not.
I know guys in women book clubs.
Yeah, I do too. Be a part of it. Oh, shut up. I just realized what you just said. Shut up. God, you're so
That's not
Tony, it is
true.
for anybody
I
who
know
wants to
men
join.
that
You
are
are more
part
than
of
welcome to
women
participate too.
that are part of women's book clubs.
You're so ridiculous.
Hey, it's a way to meet women if you're single and want to mingle.
So, okay, you know what else is? So y'all know I volunteer at the cat shelter. been doing that over since 2014. So 11 years now I've been volunteering there. Anyway, so I do the feed. This is related, I promise. I do the feed, clean, play shift. I do adoptions. I do some fundraising. I manage one of the social media. I do a whole lot for the shelter. Like behind the scenes, I'm a book nerd, and I really am into feline rescue work and advocacy. Like really, really big into that. Volunteer, all volunteer. Anyway, so it's funny because times have kind of changed in regards to, like when you think of like who would be coming in to adopt a cat. Now there's like this generation of like men, single men who are like in their 20s, 30s coming in to like adopt cats. And I'm just like, oh my God, like ladies, like you want to meet someone? Come get a cat.
Go hang out at the cat adoption.
Just stand outside the cat shelter and watch. Like it's the funniest thing how like, and I think that's so awesome how times have changed. And it's just like, yeah, how do you want to meet a guy? Take Beckham's advice. Go to a book club. Take my advice. Go stand outside a cat shelter and watch a guy in his 20s go. Yeah, it's wild.
Looking for a cat. There you go.
Yeah, bars are overrated. No, unless you're at Crime Con and you hang out at the bar to meet everybody, like I do. Wagstaff just got here barely in time to hear Danny shut the fuck up. Yeah, no, I think I've said that to Beckham probably like 25 times tonight. I think I have. Thank you. Y'all isn't Northeastern verbiage. Isn't. I know. I don't. I've had people say, are you from the South because you say y'all? I'm like, I've always said that. I don't know. But I do say wicked all the time. That's very, very New England. All right, y'all. My voice is like, it's tapped out for the night. It is tapped out and I feel congested still. So sorry, folks. I'm actually surprised we're on as long as we are. But thank you, everybody, for joining us for this episode of True Crime and Chill, or as I title it, Chill with a Little Bit of True Crime. Thank you, Beckham, for being here and for joining me.
Hey, man, maybe, no problem. Maybe next time Paul or the Liz will join us. Mm-hmm. And also maybe we run into the other better Paul.
Oh, the better Paul. The better Paul. Ninja Intrudas isn't Southern. It is not. It is not. Oh, well, no, thank you for coming in. It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm just getting over being sick, but
hey, Wags.
That will be good. That will be good. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see y'all next week.
Dude, I'm so looking forward to sleeping
time. We don't live in darkness. Darkness lives in us. Bye, everyone.